Okay, chapter 11. I tried recording this once already, but iMovie did. It's already dropping frame. iMovie just sucks so much. Um, anyway, this chapter is called Mastering New Songs. And it starts off by going into how songs are structured, because he says that once you understand how a song is structured, you can better learn it more, remember it easier, and you can build off of it better if you're jamming. Talks about time signatures first, how songs are split up into beats and measures, which are the individual pulses in a song, and then sets of them. Or phrases would be longer sets of measures. He compares it to a sentence, and then those are arranged into parts, which are generally 8, 12, or 16 phrases. Oh, sorry, 8, 12, or 16 measures. My bad. But there are sets of phrases usually, and they so that'll often be a verse or a chorus or something, which then leads to the next part, which is called form, which is the overall high level structure of the song. So if it it's verse, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, verse, whatever. So then he talks about chord progressions being kind of the backdrop of a song versus melody being kind of the front end of that. And knowing chord progressions will kind of tell you about what notes are in a scale, how it's set up, the overall kind of roadmap, where the song is going. It talks about songs being in different keys, so having different set of notes that are generally utilized, and how to tell from the musical notation what key a song is in. So basically it's just the number of sharps and flats on the left side of the music, and then you just a little chart being song has 1 sharp, it's in G major or E minor, 2 sharps, D major, B minor, kind of thing. And mentions very briefly about how there's relative majors and minors that basically use the same notes but have different home chords. Then he talks about how to find what key a song is in based on if you know the chord progression. And he just says find all the notes in the specific chords and then write out all the notes in order, and then just see what scale it fits most closely to. And sometimes you'll find that a song is not in exactly a specific major or minor key. And then so for that you want to figure out which one is it closest to. If it's closest to a F or a G major key or something, you would then identify the notes you couldn't play in those, and then you want to see are those notes, can I reach them by bending? Or the notes that are important to the song, or are they used a lot, the ones that you wouldn't be able to reach? Can you or if you left out some of the notes, would it be a huge deal for the song, or could you just replace them or something? Or could you switch out harps and use one harp for one part of the tune and one other harp for another part of the tune? So then he goes into talking about how to learn melodies or songs, and the different ways you can do that. So the first would be from written music, so just your normal musical notation with notes written out. And then there would also be tabs, which would be specific to harmonica and tell you exactly what holes to play. And he mentions that tabs can sometimes be easier to play from, but written music will have more coverage, more songs will be written that way. Um, and it allows for like a little bit more freedom in terms of like choosing what position you're gonna play on, what harp you're gonna play on, as opposed to tab will generally be written for. Well, that's actually not true. It can be played for any harmonica, so I take that back. But also written music will sometimes be a little bit more reliable in terms of like a lot of tabs are written online by just people who have transposed it themselves, or so we also suggest some applications online that will take in a MIDI file and write out a harmonica tab. And then talks about learning by ear, which he's basically just like try to figure out the key of the song. He doesn't really say how, and then he's like just figure out the bass notes. He just says like start slowly, like figure out the first note of the song, and then I figure out the first couple notes of a song, and then like break it into different phrases or measures, and like learn it in small chunks. Or if you can try to figure out the chord progression or the key, then that can be really helpful. But also he talks about applications that can slow down melodies for you or songs for you, so you can it's easier to hear the specific progressions. And then lastly, he talks about like jamming, freestyling your own melodies. And for that, you want to know the key of the scale. You want to know the chord progression. So both of those will chord progression. Well, key will basically tell you what position or what harp to use and what notes kind of are generally like allowed. And then chord progression will tell you again like kind of a roadmap type thing, and also will tell you like some of the notes that more likely work well with whatever your accompaniment is. If you know that the chord progression is playing a C major or something, you can safely build off the notes in that chord. And then knowing little bits of the melody can help to kind of join in the melody, drop out of the melody, or tweak the melody in some interesting way. And then also the rhythmic feel or the rhythmic setup of the song. So if it's like a certain an Irish dance song or like a Latin style music, it'll have some characteristics of in terms of rhythm, and not to play too much when you're playing with other people that don't hog the spotlight. And then he says that like if you're kind of nervous about starting up to playing with other people, you can just play by yourself with alongside pre-recorded music as a way to kind of get used to playing with freestyling or playing alongside songs you don't really know, or so that's all he has for that chapter. No harmonica playing. So next chapter though is about bending notes up and doing overblows, so that'll be more harmonica driven, so look forward to that.